Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is your boy Taka, part-time YouTuber, full-time human being, coming at you with something I haven't done in a long time. This is some commentary. First time I've done this in a long time. I usually just post video of me talking a lot of smack. Today I want to say thank you for one of my last videos, getting over 300, almost 350 views. Thank you so very much. And I've gotten a couple comments after said video, saying to post the deck list of my vampire deck, and I am willing to oblige and show you guys what I did to it. Alright, so let's get started. Now we're just going to go over my vamp deck. Alright, so here we have my vampire deck. As you can see, it's very interesting. Now, just to have like pointers. Any of the ratios of most of these monsters are subject to change. You can do whatever you want, whatever you feel like. You can change the ratios to however. So starting off with the monsters here, we have 3 Vampire Familiar. It's just your basic combo starter. It gets any of your vampire monsters in your hand. It's just all overall just a good start when you're either going first, second, whatever. Next up, 1 Max C. Currently I only use 1 Max C in this deck, but I'm looking into changing that and playing around with ratios of other cards to get more Maxis, less Maxis, depending, but everybody knows what Maxi does. You should play it in most of your decks when playing ranked. Next up, 2 Shiranui Spectral Swords. This is just part of play a splashable engine to get into your synchro plays and all that stuff. Just fill the board with bigger monsters, get better other effects with your zombies, and it works well with this vampire deck when you send lots of your big monsters to the graveyard using Gozuki and all that other stuff. Next up, 3 Vampire Familiar. Again, same thing with Vampire Retainer, my bad. 3 Vampire Retainer. About the same thing as Vampire Familiar. Gets you access to Vampire's Desire to start to send Vampire Familiar using Vampire Desire's effect, or getting Vampire's Domain to get you that extra normal summon, and to have Domain on the field. Next up, we have 1 Ash. This just perfectly works for me. I pretty much don't really face too much when having just 1 Ash. Again, but also she's zombie tuner, so helps out with your zombie plays, helps out with synchro plays. So good. Again, subject to change. If you need more Ashes, you can change it. Next up, 1 Tatsu Necro. Tatsu Necro, just very good synchro zombie support. You bring this guy out, activate his effect, send something like Nezuki, Necro, and Banshee, and you automatically have the Red-Eye Zombie Necro Dragon on the field. Next up, 1 Nezuki and 1 Gozuki. Just easy normal summons to get either your banished stuff and just to help with combo starting. That's all. It just helps. It helps out a lot with starting combos. 2 Vampire Sorcerer. It just helps out. It's good. It's a good pitch for Vampire Familiar, Vampire Retainer, and a good thing to send to the graveyard with Gozuki if you already have the Familiar and Retainer combo started. And also, when it's in the grave, you can activate its effect to have a normal summon without tribute under Vampire's Domain, so that's an extra normal summon for you. Next, 2 Necro Road Banshee. That's like, Necro Road Banshee is easily like a 2nd and 3rd terraforming for your zombie worlds. So that's all that really needs to be said about this card. It's really good, again, 2nd and 3rd terraforming. Next, 2 Vampire Fraulein. It's your battle monster. Stuff to interrupt when opponent's attacking, all that stuff, and it helps get your monsters big enough to swing over bigger monsters. That's the main thing. 2 Vampire Crimson. This is just destruction protection. That's about it. And yeah, that's all under needs to be said about this card. 2 Vampire Scarlet Scourge, it's an extra special summon, and it's big enough when under Fraulein to get over most of your opponent's monsters, and it's easy to take control of other people's monsters. 1 Vampire Red Baron that allows you to do pretty much the exact same thing, and the effect comes out every now and then if you have just a Baron on field and a familiar. 1 Jackal Bolin, it's just easy zombie special summon, helps out in tribute, whatever, and if it's in the grave, helps. This is an easy banish target for like Mezuki and stuff like that, activate the effect. And its quick effect is one of the reasons why I use it. 1 Raigeki, 1 Harpy Feather Duster. Of course, this deck doesn't have a lot of board wipes, so you run these 2 as a help. Terraforming, of course, to get into Zombie World. Then you have 2 Vampire's Desires, which is just easy extenders into combo when you activate Vampire Familiar, Vampire Retainer's effect. If you summon one of those out to the field, you can use Vampire's Desire to send the other one to the grave and activate their effect. 1 Zombie Necronize, it just helps take control of your opponent's monsters and lets you summon out Vampire Sheridan a lot easier. 2 Zombie World, of course it's Zombie World. Zombie World just makes your stuff a lot easier, and when your opponent's monsters are zombies, you can activate the effect of Vampire Sucker using your opponent's monsters that are revived from the graveyard. 2 Vampire's Domain. Vampire Domain is just an easy extender for the extra normal summon, and when you battle more opponent's monsters and you deal damage to your opponent, you just gain that life point, so you can pay more life points for each of your Vampire's effects. 1 MST, it's generic spell and trap removal. If you need something hard, you just 1 spell or trap removed. You can replace it with Twin Twisters, Cosmic Cyclone, however you need. 1 Zombie Power Struggle. Really, this card doesn't come up too much, but it's an extra attack boost, and it allows you to recycle your banished zombies. 1 Vampire Awakening allows you to special summon your deck, so you can special summon Familiar or Retainer on your opponent's turn to activate their effect and start your combo for going second. 1 Solemn Judgment. Solemn Judgment is just an amazing counter trap card. We all know this. 2 Vampire Domination is just a counter trap that is almost a Solemn, but not really. Of course, it doesn't affect on summons, but if we negate a zombie monster, you take control of that. If you negate the effect of an opponent's monster, we take control of that monster, which also allows us to easily go for Vampire Sheridan, which is also very good. Going on to the extra deck, 2 Shiranui Samurai Saga. It just helps recycle banished zombies on when it does that. That's about it. 2 Red Eye Zombie Necro Dragons that allows us to take control of opponent's monsters, and it's a very big boy to deal with, for your opponent to deal with. Shiranui Squire Saga, it just helps your monsters get bigger, and if you end up using for other effects, it helps with spell trap removal and card removal. Shiranui Shogun Saga, again, it's a big boy. That's pretty much like the main thing. Once you're out in the field, you have almost a 5,000 monster if you use stuff like Fraulein or Scarlet Scourge, stuff like that. 2 Downpure Vampire Sheridan, it's easy to get out if you take control of your opponent's monsters so much in this deck. So, and it's an easy pop once per turn. So it's really, really good. Since we're playing Xyz, gotta play at least 1 Zeus. Gotta play the 1 Zeus. As long as you can go into Xyz plays, I always thought just play Zeus. 1 Code Talker, it's a Link 2, it's slightly big, or it just helps if I have Zombie World out, I'm going to Vampire Sucker and whatnot. 2 Vampire Sucker. Vampire Sucker is very useful when it comes to when you can link off using monsters your opponent controls, and when you tribute summon, you can tribute your opponent's opponent zombie monsters for your monsters. And when a zombie is revived from the graveyard, you draw a card. So that's an easy +1. That's one that needs to be said. 1 Bewitched Apprentice. Don't really use this that often, but when it comes up, it makes your dark monsters, which most of these cards are, bigger. So that's about it. And yeah, that's my vampire deck list. Thank you guys so much for watching this and all that whatnot. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Later.